So, it's been a while, eh? In these 6 months, I've been able to reflect on YouTube and ULTRAKILL, and I've decided to share that with you. If you clicked on this video because of ULTRAKILL, don't worry, you'll have some, but I want to focus more on my experience and personal topics, like school, which is also the reason why I haven't posted anything in so long. ULTRAKILL was the very first thing I posted on the channel. It was a clip of me getting yeeted into the stratosphere by a Sisyphean insurrectionist geometry. It didn't get that many views at first, something like 20 or 30 in the first week, which at the time I still thought was pretty neat. The most important part though was what I said to myself while pressing the upload button. I will not let this consume me. Well, guess fucking what? At the time, I was just getting started with Premiere Pro, and I wanted to see what I could do with it. That, combined with a cool thing I found in the sandbox, led to the creation of this video. This wasn't a stellar success either, but I was proud of it. It was something I'd found, recorded, edited, and uploaded. At this time, I had started uploading stuff fairly frequently, and I was getting quite a few views and subscribers. It was something I could show to my friends, and I was getting more confident with my editing. All this reached a peak with ULTRAKILL, my magnum opus at the time, and oh boy did it blow up. It's now sitting at 414,000 views, my most viewed video to this day. I remember how during a week in July I was getting more than 100 subs a day. Suddenly, my channel was closing in on proper ULTRAKILL channels, if not surpassing them. This led to me feeling like I was starting to become one of the big boys of ULTRAKILL content on YouTube, and I felt obligated to up my game. I needed better editing, better thumbnails, a better microphone. Also, I'd had surpassed 1,000 subscribers, one of the steps required to start monetizing on YouTube. So I quickly read through the terms and conditions and sent the information required. How crazy. For all this time, I'd always seen monetized content creation as something meant for someone else, meant for, well, YouTubers. If I were to locate the turning point of the channel and the way I viewed it, it would have to be this. While everyone was having fun with the update, I was dodging spoilers left and right, like taking a stroll through a fucking minefield. Also, it would have been best to upload videos on the update when the hype was at its highest. Instead, I would be away from my computer for almost 2 weeks. I was so worried about the number of views, subs, and money I would not be making by not having content readily made, that before going on holiday, I prepared a whole 3 videos in 2 days and scheduled them to upload while I was away. And sure enough, those videos did get a lot of views, which was a bit reassuring, but then... my heart skipped a beat when I read that. I was panicking internally. What do I do now? Do you think I'm a Russian bot? How much time do I have before they block my account? As soon as I got home, I went through forums, Reddit threads, Google documentation, nothing. Then I started contacting support, but there was very little and not for my specific issue. I even bought a Google One subscription just to get Google support. The most stressful 2 weeks of my life. Then, an assistant asked me, "Excuse me Dave, but how old are you?" She then told me it was in the terms and conditions, which yes, I should have read more carefully, no doubt, but come on, why couldn't AdSense just tell me the reason from the beginning? In the end, I got it sorted, but this incident had changed my relationship with content creation. I can't say exactly what it was, but I was a lot less enthusiastic about making videos than I used to be. But I was determined. I mean, I'd gone through all that trouble, I couldn't slow down now, right? What followed, especially at the end of summer with people going back to school and all, was a decline in views and new subs. All of my videos were getting less traction at once. It appears that relying entirely on a single game for content is a risky thing to do. Who knew? In fact, I checked steamcharts.com and look at this. I uploaded the right video at the right time. Like, that's not a bump, that's a tsunami, and the fact it lasted relatively long made me adjust to the favorable conditions. High views, high sub gain. So when it eventually went back down, I thought I was doing something wrong, that maybe people just got tired of my content, which was in direct contrast to the fact that I've been trying to make better and better content with every video. All this led to frustration, which further damaged the innocent and enthusiastic view I had of content creation in the beginning. Oh, and an important aspect of this is also YouTube Studio. That godforsaken app acted to exacerbate my feelings of frustration and inadequacy, since the way it communicates info to you is cancerous. Like,
Oh, it seems this video you spent a month making got slightly fewer views than usual. You are a disappointment to your parents.
So I'd feel trapped inside of it, always thinking about YouTube, to the point where I'd feel guilty if I wasn't working on a new video every day.
您好，这里是中国领事馆文件通知，您有一封重要文件尚未领取，如有任何疑问，请按0。
You know what else did not help the situation? In fact, it may have been the most significant aspect at times: the comments. Now, don't get me wrong, I love getting nice and funny comments and interacting with my viewers, but I don't think it's a hot take to say that YouTube comments as a whole aren't exactly enlightening. For example, those from people who don't bother to finish watching the video before commenting, let alone reading the description. This sounds kinda specific, but it's mainly because of ULTRAKILL, since 300 IQ ultra gamers would go like, actually, you could have just used the rocket launcher. Tell me more, yes. Another type of bad comments that is at the same time involuntarily funny and also annoying are those that don't even form a coherent sentence. Like, what is this guy even trying to say? I think the reason for this is mainly the young age of many of my viewers, and more broadly just how young the ULTRAKILL community is. I'm not gonna cover this in detail since Dumpsterman has already made a video that touches on this, but as far as Davedotexe is concerned, this type of comments is basically the 13th reason why I'm ending the channel. Like, imagine pouring your soul into a video, and then the first comment you get is shit like, haha, when the gay sex Minos brand is such. This made me feel very disconnected from my audience, and whenever I posted a video, what little feedback and interaction I could get from the comments was often diluted and overshadowed by the amount of dumbassery in the comment section. At some point, I thought about making a Discord server or even start streaming, with the purpose of building a tightly knit community. In the end though, I came to the conclusion that it just was more effort than I was willing to put in. First and foremost, I live between two houses, which does influence my workflow heavily. For example, a while ago I learned the hard way that Premiere Pro is picky when it comes to transferring projects between versions. Ooh, is that project made in 14.0.8.69? Such a shame, I can only read projects made in 14.0.8.68. And if you try to circumvent this, there is no guarantee the project will still work. I fixed the issue by having the same exact version of Premiere installed on both computers, which sounds easy enough, but Windows Defender Firewall has mood swings, so only specific versions worked on both. At some point, I had such a bad time with Premiere that I tried switching to DaVinci Resolve, but after a week of learning new inputs, new layouts, and a preview that only worked when it felt like it, I gave up and went back to Premiere, having wasted an entire week and also a lot of my energy. There have been many more accidents like this, just know that a lot of them involve data corruption. There is a silver lining to this though. I've been able to work around most of these issues, and by doing that, I have built some knowledge around editing softwares and technology in general. After over a year of making content on YouTube, I've come to the conclusion that consistent uploads and quality and the Italian school system are not compatible, at least not for me. I put a lot of effort into school, so after I'm done with homework, for example, I won't have the energy to also work on a video, especially if my friends are available to play something. On that note, it might sound crazy, but I have a life outside of school, and I'm not willing to say no if a friend asks me to hang out, just because I could work on the thumbnail for the next video. So after 9 minutes of rambling, I can finally say that I just don't enjoy making content anymore. The spark has fizzled out, and I really don't feel like forcing myself to do something I don't want to do. However, I am proud of how far I've come. Hell, one of my videos even made it into a Jimmy Here episode.
Is this a VR game? This looks sick. my opinion stays the same. It looks sick.
And while many of the projects I worked on ended up never seeing the light of day, like an ULTRAKILL montage, a personalized font, and my own PNG character with over a dozen faces and poses which took me a whole month to make just to realize it looked like shit, I feel like I've grown a lot as a person, on top of becoming way more experienced as a creator. So, is this the end of it? What will be of my channel? Well, I don't know yet, but I have some projects in mind. Like making content about more personal interests, like linguistics and maths. You know, nerd shit. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, hell yeah. If not, that's fine too. Unsubscribe if you want. However, I suggest subscribing to these channels instead. They're all very talented people, and of course they're all in the description. Keep in mind, I'm not 100% sure I will ever make more stuff on YouTube. Not even about the aforementioned topics. But if I ever make new ULTRAKILL content, I want to end the ULTRAKILL saga when the game is completed, as well as an updated thickness tier list with all the enemies. As to where to find me, I'll be chilling on Discord for the time being, on a certain server that you may know already, and if I ever make my own server, I'll put the link to it down below. Thanks for watching till the end, and I'll see you around. Have a good one.